Today, sports are about entertainment and fitness, but in the past, people didn't watch sports hoping everyone would survive. They watched hoping someone would die. These weren't underground events. They were public, celebrated, and sometimes even religious. Here are 8 deadly sports that ancient people couldn't get enough of and why they loved them. 1. Gladiatorial combat. Gladiator fights weren't just battles, they were the Super Bowl of the ancient world. Trained fighters battled each other, wild animals, or prisoners in massive arenas like the Colosseum. Many fights ended in death, and mercy depended entirely on the crowd. For Romans, this wasn't cruelty, it was entertainment. 2. Mayan ball game. This ancient sport used a solid rubber ball, sometimes weighing several kilograms. Players used hips, shoulders, and heads to keep the ball in play. In some versions, the losing team, or even the winners, were sacrificed to the gods. This was sport, religion, and death combined. 3. Chariot racing. Chariot racing was one of the most dangerous sports ever invented. Drivers raced lightweight chariots at insane speeds around tight tracks. Crashes were common. Bodies were dragged, trampled, and crushed. The crowd loved it more when accidents happened.
4. Pancration, ancient Greece. Pancration was a brutal mix of boxing and wrestling with almost no rules. Biting and eye gouging were sometimes the only things forbidden. Matches continued until someone surrendered or died. It was an Olympic event. 5. Medieval jousting. Knights charged at each other on horseback with solid wooden lances. Despite armor, broken necks and fatal injuries were common. Some knights died instantly, others days later from internal injuries. Tournaments were glamorous and deadly. 6. Fox tossing. In 17th century Europe, nobles played a game where foxes or other animals were tossed into the air using slings. Sometimes humans were thrown too, often fatally. It was considered fashionable entertainment. 7. Shin kicking. This English sport involved 2 competitors kicking each other's shins repeatedly. There were no protective rules. Broken bones were common, and infections could be deadly. Crowds gathered to watch men destroy each other's legs. 8. Cliff diving rituals. In some ancient cultures, young men proved bravery by jumping from high cliffs into water. Misjudgment meant instant death. Survival meant honor. The community gathered to watch, knowing not everyone would return. For ancient people, danger wasn't a flaw, it was the point. Sports tested strength, courage, and fate itself. And sometimes, survival was the prize. If you enjoy uncovering the brutal, fascinating side of history, subscribe to the channel. Because the past wasn't just different, it was deadly.